the most satisfactory of nights. Of course, the Carmen was fine. They always cast the Carmen perfectly. Lord knows they've had enough talented women pour through their door. You might simply slip their hand beneath the water, and any slight grasp would produce a prize salmon. The toreador, panting and dripping in some wretched form of masculinity. At one point, he bared his breast to the audience, ripping his shirt open with buttons flying open, as if inspired purely by desire. And we, the ladies in the audience, we're supposed to, I suppose, collapse in a faint of lustful thoughts. As it was, I didn't consider it that fine a chest. Voice hardly made up for it. Not exactly a strong tenor, in my opinion. Certainly not worthy of the Bizet arias. Somewhat sweaty chest, hairy. Of course, the girls in the audience let loose a nervous titter. But at that age, one travels to Italy and swoons at the sight of Michelangelo's David, let loose with his manhood freely swinging. Young women in their early 20s set afire by a stone scrotum. Remember when I saw David? Quite taken aback by how utterly harmless it all was. Questo è Davide, la famosa opera d'arte di Michelangelo. Per questo sono venuta. This is David, I said to my guide, gesturing roughly towards the middle area. This is supposed to be the be-all and end-all of our society, the ultimate, worshipped by all men and therefore, I suppose, by all women. This shriveled centipede wriggling its wormish way towards my opulent, radiant flower. Hardly, I thought. Claro che sì, the guide replied. He only spoke Italian, which, I suppose, given the conversation, was a blessing. Harriet didn't swoon either tonight. She is a sensible woman. I'm grateful that my friends are sensible people, not given to foolishness or idiocy. Grateful, too, that I have friends to attend the opera when my dullard husband refuses to go, said locks himself in the study at home. Children are too young to venture out. Lord knows not one among the three of them has any sign of creative urges or passion. I myself have always loved the opera. Something in it, passion, the politeness, the desire for order in disordered worlds. Something of this world has always seemed disordered to me. There is a kindness, an ending that is found in opera when the world is set to rights. Sometimes the opinion that I'm searching for that ending now. Fanciful, I know. House is a little cold tonight. Maids only lit fires in the study for Herbert and in the bedrooms. Didn't think to light them in the room where their mistress would be. That's the issue with this world. There's no attention paid to the women. None whatsoever. Simply get on with it. Undress in freezing cold rooms. Bear children until there's at least one son. Wait around for the men. Bet there's a fire in Herbert's dressing room. No one thought of mine. Harriet said she insisted the servants light a fire in every room she sleeps in during the winter. She is a force of nature. Quite admire her. She does things to perfection. Her face is smooth, hair is groomed. She wears a gown quite like any other. I wish I could get the fabric to smooth to my figure as she does. Velvet clings to her silhouette. You can hardly watch anything else. Doesn't feel like it's the same for me. I enjoy my evenings with Harriet far more than with Herbert these days. She will always write to me and invite me to her latest gatherings. Recently she held a small party to play cards and I heard from Lady Jennings about it. I myself remarkably upset that I hadn't been invited, but I resolved to stay mum on the matter. What matters it, I asked myself, if she has one gathering out of 20 that I'm not invited to? Lessen the pain any more, but I rationalised it. I said, calm yourself, you mad woman. And Harriet found out I hadn't received my invitation. I had been invited after all, among the first, and she rode over herself that afternoon before the party to implore me to attend. Her wretched stable boy had thrown himself into a strop, as men do, forgotten his duty of delivering my invitation. I had to hold her back from dismissing him that very day for his error. I said to Harriet, this will be a lovely evening. She took my hand gently in hers. She said, all the more lovely for your attendance. Dear, dear Frances. I'm deeply fond of my friendship with Harriet. She's remarkably intelligent, quick-witted, tremendous fun. She always includes me, always. I've had periods in my life where I felt almost beyond the wall, listening to the sounds of jollity and celebration without a key to get through a locked door. Listening, never participating. Times I'm concerned, I will become bitter. I will go to my bed tonight and lie there, quite alone. For Herbert hasn't bothered me since the third child, thank the Lord, and sleep. And tomorrow I will awake and see the children, and speak to Herbert and attend my correspondence and manage the accounts and the menus and the household matters. And I'm quite aware, if it weren't for Harriet's friendship and loving care, I'm quite desolate and alone. I fear being alone. Oh, this face. I spot new worry lines every day. I had a fancy. Don't laugh. But on one particularly dull day, I thought, what if Harriet were a man? Her disposition, his disposition, I suppose, his character, his spirit, his kindness, quite suit my own. Silly fancy. Such things could never be. Sometimes I catch Harriet looking at me with an expression I could not describe. Feels dangerous.